everything is going extremely well.
And now, showtime.
Hey everybody, good to see you. We are back live. So today we're going to be talking about your meta ad strategy completely wrong. I really want to break down a whole bunch of creative testing stuff. But first, I'm going to be selfish. I'm going to pull a selfish. What we're going to talk about, first thing, we are launching a brand new channel. On Sunday, we're doing a huge launch party. You can click the link in the chat to join. We're doing a huge launch party around this video for our brand new channel, Disruptor Academy, which so many of you are a part of. And it's great to see. Bonjour from Vancouver. Bonjour from New Zealand. Bonjour to Bangladesh. I love it. Okay, so hold on a sec. I got to get this light on. It's too dark. Did that make any difference? No? Okay, good. All right, so Oklahoma, South Africa. I love it. So we are doing a launch party Sunday. It's my birthday. I'm turning 41 on Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to be doing a launch party. You can get into it by just being a part of this premiere. And we already got some folks jumped in. This is a brand new YouTube channel. The purpose of this YouTube channel is it's going to only be complete courses. Everything will be 100% free. This is going to be everything you need to know. I just finished editing and posting right now the second video here at 41 Club. All right, Gaz, nice to see you. And I'm almost done writing the third one. I have over a dozen courses planned for this video, for this channel, so that you know these are the topics we're going to cover. And we're going to get started on today's chat. Just hear me out. We're going to talk about how to set up your ad account, how to go from beginner to expert. We're going to cover whether or not Facebook ads are right for you, step-by-step guide to setting up your account, understanding the right budget, the learning phase, CBO, ABO, how to set up your campaign objectives, the layers of every ad account, how to structure a profitable campaign, what Facebook's business model actually is. If you understand what your business partner's business model is, you can have a better business relationship. We're going to talk about all the best targeting strategies. We're going to talk about how Meta's AI powers your ads. We're going to talk about how Facebook predicts purchases. You're going to understand bidding models and strategy and creative. We're also going to get into all of the tools that you need in order to run Facebook ads profitably, including the 5 that I think everybody should use. And sadly, people just don't know. We're going to talk to you about how to get a Facebook page created without getting banned. We're just talking about the first 15 minutes. This is over an hour-long video. We're going to talk about how targeting works. We're going to talk about how to create ads. We're going to make ads live on the video. These literally, I'm making in this video, I'm making ads that I use that I then launched to get people into Disruptor Academy. The second video is a follow-up 3 weeks later, what those results look like. The third video is what it looks like a month afterwards so that you can see how I was able to take a couple $1,000s and turn it into a couple dozen $1,000s, and a thing that you can 100% copy and paste. We're going to chart the entire journey. We're also going to be doing big giveaways. We're going to be doing, I think we got 4 giveaways for $50, $100, $150, $200. We're also doing a special announcement, a free year to Disruptor Academy. And we got more bonuses. We got more stuff. Anyway, it's my birthday, and we're going to have a party because that's what I decided to do. Launch a new channel. Let's have fun. The link for the invite is in the chat here. Let's see if I can pin this thing. Can I pin this thing? Let's see. Ooh, nope. Can't pin it. Okay. So all that being said, let's get started on today, because today is what we're talking about. But by the way, check out Disruptor Academy. Right here, right there. By the way, you can join Disruptor Academy for free. And if you just want some courses to see, like, is this legit? You can jump in and check it out so that you know. And this is the last thing that I'll say. And then we're going to dive into your meta ad strategy and creative to scale. and what most people get completely wrong. Everybody's in the academy will get these courses, of course. But if you join the academy, you're going to get the entire presentation. You're going to get all the documentation and all the tools and tips and tricks that I'm using inside of the coursework. So it's not just watching me go through it. I'm literally going to share the links to all of the tools that I use and give you the presentation, all the worksheets, all the documents, everything that I reference. You're getting it 100% free if you're a part of the academy. So we're giving away the info, but if you want all of the resources, hey, you can jump into the academy for 100% free. But for you academy members, don't worry, we're not giving away the sauce. This is what happens before Begin to Win and afterwards. Like I'm just so excited. This is a lot. And I could not be more stoked. The fact that 150 people subscribe to this and the video isn't even live yet and I haven't even promoted it is amazing. But let's see what we can do, chat. Let's see what we can do to get this to 200 by the end of this video. Look at that. We're already up 2. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. I love it. Okay. Fantastic. So all that to be said, let's get into it today. I know I'm hyped, right? Like I'm on some coffee. I just had some food. This is good stuff. Okay. Now, let's talk today. Your meta ad strategy is completely wrong. Your creative to scale is 100% wrong. And it's because you've been lied to by people who don't understand what's going on. And the honest truth is, you might not have been lied to. They might just be ignorant of what the facts are. So I've met with the engineering team for years. I've helped them design the way the platform works. So today what I'm going to do is give you a sneak peek into the kind of lectures that we have in the Facebook Ads MBA program, because this is basically what we covered this week. Let's get to it. The first thing I want to tell you is the life cycle of an ad, because you've been lied to or misinformed about what to expect and what that actually is. So let's get started with this. When you launch an ad, just like when you post anything organically, the platform sends it to a test audience. This is the exact same thing that happens if you post a TikTok. Right? It goes out to a couple hundred folks, and if they don't like it, it doesn't go any further. You're stuck in 300 view jail. The same thing happens with your ads. The thing is, those organic TikToks that you post go to your audience, and if they don't like it, it doesn't go any further. Your ads, when they get launched, go to your audience, and if they don't like it or buy, those ads basically don't get any more budget. And if they do, the CPMs are astronomical. And generally, if you leave them on, you're going to see really unstable 4PI analysis, really unstable metrics when you do a 4PI. Now, why is that important? If you think of the center of my screen, all right, for the visual aid today, the center of my screen is the middle low-hanging fruit. Like that is the customer that's ready to buy. The closer they are to the middle of the screen, the more likely they are to buy. Your ad runs to basically people that are only right in the middle of the screen. Your ads on that first 1,000 impressions or so are being shown to the people that like your brand, that are ready to buy based on all sorts of information. Why does that matter? Because it tells us why ads, when you just launch them, are good. It's because they only go after the low-hanging fruit. It's because they only go after the individuals that are most likely to receive those ads positively. Great. Most new ads do well. Now, what happens next? This test environment, generally based on your spend level, number of conversions, and a lot of other factors, we can project this to last between 2 and 4 days. Based on that information, the platform is going to understand who likes this, who doesn't like it. And then the ads that are good generally get more spend than the other ones. Like if you launch 10 ads, odds are they don't all get even spend. They don't all get a fair chance. It's because some of them are shit. And the machine's just trying to help you out. What happens then is that ad says, oh, I got 5 sales. I got 10 sales, whatever it is. Oh, don't you worry, Joshua. We're going to get into ad fatigue and how it's complete bullshit. That is part of this conversation. By the way, address the chat. Bonjour, New Zealand, or kia ora, or whatever. I'm not cultured as much as I should be. Bonjour, Ali. Right, there we go. Bonjour from Bangladesh and from Oklahoma, South Africa. Ni hao. the 41 Club, hide in the Ozarks, and Canada to our friends in it. I just love you guys, just what it's worth. Just so you know, you men and women out there, it gives me the juice, and I love it. Okay, so what happens next? Well, that ad, if you launch 10 of them, maybe 3 or 4 actually get some budget, and the rest kind of suck in those first few impressions. And so basically, we don't see any more delivery. Bonjour, Kentucky. I dig your brown water. All right, maybe a little too much. That's why I don't drink anymore. Anyway, I'm a brown liquor kind of guy. Then what happens is those ads get more and more of the spend. And then what happens is those ads, the machine's like, okay, great. When you only have to survive in the backyard, when you haven't left the nest, apparently you're the one that's going to be best. Okay, got it. Don't worry, Sterling. I'm coming for you. Joshua, don't you worry, buddy. Sterling, I'm going to land this plane. You're going to be like, oh my God, of course. I'm never going to listen to anybody ever again that says that they don't understand this. Okay. So then what happens? That ad gets lucky basically because it's somebody learning how to ride a bicycle on a slow incline, being pushed by their parents with training wheels and a helmet on, and they didn't die. Awesome. And to be fair, most of that is completely random distribution. If you had launched 10 ads that were the exact same, the results of all of them are going to be completely different. Because sometimes those ads in that first 100 or 1,000 impressions are going to be shown to people that are ready to buy. And then the more ads you have, the more that low-hanging fruit is going to be dispersed amongst a bunch of other ads. So you can launch 10 identical versions that are all going to have different results. The winner is going to be different based on just sheer dumb luck. And I've done this at scale, like thousands of ads with a lot of money. And it has never panned out to be anything other than random distribution when you have the same ads running up against each other. There is no rhyme or reason to it. And the engineering team tells us this, and it makes complete sense. Hi, Sterling. So what happens next? The ads that got lucky, and I'll give one more visual example, and then we're going to move on. If there's 100 houses in the neighborhood and you launch 10 Girl Scouts to sell cookies, everyone gets to knock on 10 doors. Some are going to sell 5 boxes. Some are going to sell 0. Now, odds are any girl that sells like 5 or 10 boxes and those 10 houses are probably a little bit better than the ones that sell 0, but also the one that sells 0 might have just knocked on 10 doors when nobody was home. So here's what happens. You now say, okay, you're the Girl Scout that's best at selling cookies. What we're going to do is we're going to say, great, you're the winner. We're going to send you off and see how well you do. So what the platform does is say, all right, you're a winning ad. You got 5, 10 sales, whatever. I want you now to leave the nest. And you're going to venture north, south, east, and west. Or if you want to think of it visually, you're right in the middle. We're going to do a quadrant here, 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 and here. Okay? We got 4 quadrants of where you might go from the dead center. Now, why that matters, I want you to visualize this. I want you to see this in your head or get out a piece of paper and write it down. You started in the middle. Now what happens is you kind of go off in each one of these directions. You get some wins, you get some losses. What does that actually look like? You might get a win right here. That's awesome. But you might get a lose here, here, and here. Now, this might be an amazing sale, but you lost in 3/4 of those audiences, not because your ad is bad, but because your message that you're good at and who converted on that ad earlier and the data you got and all the things that are completely out of our control say, actually, you know what? Right here's where we got the win. So what does that look like? That looks like day 4, day 7, day 10 of your ads. The results don't look good. How many times have you launched an ad, it works really good for a few days and then tanks? Or a new audience, same thing. And it's because it got to win close to home, and then it had to go out there and figure out where it could win and where it would lose. Now, here's the real kicker. It learned. Remember, it's a machine learning algorithm. You're teaching it with ad dollars who to go after. Let's say it's just this audience. Now that ad is only going to go basically from home out to this audience. So it knows to really focus on this area, and it's going to stop going into this area. So what happens if you don't do anything? That ad starts to get better and better. because it focuses on getting people in this area to buy. This area becomes that ad's audience, right? You talk about pockets of the audience. We got this pocket and this pocket and this pocket and this one. So what does that mean for us? Well, that means on day 7, day 10, week number 2, your ad's getting better because it's not wasting money on impressions where it can't win. And now every ad, so that you know, every ad makes its own lookalike audience based around who responds positively to that ad. That's what machine learning is. You're quite literally just saying, well, we got a lot of good impressions here. We got a lot of bad ones. Let's just go find more people that look like the good ones. That's a lookalike audience. That's quite literally what's happening with every single post, organic and paid. So then what happens is that ad begins to learn and begins to get better at finding those people. And if you want to think about it this way, that ad is going to learn and get better and better and better amongst this quadrant. It's probably not going to venture out too far unless you fuck up. Now, here, let me tell you where you can fuck. And I don't know the YouTube live stuff. I should probably hold off on the profanity for later, but whatever. I'm in a good mood today. What happens is that ad over here might have the data to get 20 sales today. And your budget on that ad might be only asking it to drive 10 sales. The supply and demand, there's a supply of 20 sales a day based on the data that ad has. And based on your demand, the amount of money you're asking it to spend, it only needs to get 10. So that ad's super efficient. Okay. So what if we start ramping up our budget? Well, we know that every day that ad goes out, it gets a little bit better. So let's say every day that ad, instead of getting 20 sales, the next day can get 21, the day after that, 22, 23, 24. After 10 days, that ad could maybe get 30 sales a day on the supply side, what it can achieve based around the data that it has within this quadrant and the lookalike audience that it's built from home. If you start scaling your budget, let's say 20% or more, let's say you start scaling your budget. So on the first day you're asking it, the demand is 10, then 12, 14, 16, 18. On day 10, that demand is now 30. You can have enough data to get 30 sales or leads or whatever. And you're asking it, the demand side, to get you 30. Your budget has scaled to the overall output that ad is capable of. Then what happens? Well, if you keep scaling, you're asking it to do, can you get me 32? But it's only capable of 31, so that ad begins to slip. What happens if you keep scaling? Oh, you're asking that ad to get 34, but it's only capable of 32 on the 12th day. It's slipping some more. And as it begins to slip, the machine says, well, we can't get those people here, so we're going to start going into these other areas where we're pretty sure it's not going to do well, but you're asking us to do more work than we're capable of. There's only 30 people here. You want us to get 32, so we're going to try to go in these other directions, but we know we're probably going to fail. This is the learning phase, when the machine is able to do all of this stuff and deliver that in confidence. And this is when ads begin to fatigue because you're asking it to do more work than it's capable of. Now, if you have multiple ads, and let's break this down to why this really matters real quick, because I want to land this ship right here, and then we're going to get to point number 2. If you do nothing, if you are spending 32, but it can only deliver 31, if you wait a day, well, it can deliver 32 again. If you scale up and then stop adding budget and just let the ad sit, it'll mature. This data set will get a little bit richer and it'll learn how to find a few more people, right? It'll evolve. It will learn. It's a machine learning environment. The lookalike audience will continue to improve. You're basically saying, I'm asking you to go a little bit out of your way, be a little uncomfortable, learn a little bit, and maybe it gets a win, maybe not, but it gets better at its core. So its core continues to grow. That pinpoint in the middle is now getting a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger within this quadrant because each ad is making its own lookalike audience. What this means is if you're scaling up and things don't work, instead of pulling back, just don't do anything. And the ad will catch up. And this is one reason why we always talk about small incremental scaling, what we call stable scaling. If you raise your budget 5%, you can get me 20. Can you do 21 tomorrow? Yes. The next day, can you rise 5% more? No, we don't have enough data to do that. Okay, just stay where you're at until you catch up. If you don't do anything, it will catch up to the point of being able to do it. Now, of course, we have to understand that there are other things at play, like CPMs, consumer behavior, a lot of other stuff. But the point is right now understanding how an ad works. So, with that being said, your creative strategy should be to find spots where they're not isolated pieces, but where that lookalike audience, if it's a circle, you find a bunch of circles that all kind of stack and make one giant circle. They're all complementary. Your ads, you might have static square images that are us versus them or features and benefits, but also correspond to some stuff on the landing page and probably reiterate some of the things you mentioned in your videos. Those ads might never go to this quadrant, but maybe you crush here and get a little bit here and a little bit here. And the honest truth is there's 10 million people that'll buy from you here and here and here. You don't need to win over here. That's fine. You are not in a place where you need to get everybody. You're in a place where you want to get the most amount of people here. And the honest truth is there's more people in here. If everybody in here ordered from you, you'd be out of business tomorrow because you can't handle that volume. And unless you're spending 6-7 figures a day, this isn't a problem. Unless your total addressable market is like a couple dozen people, right? Now, full caveat, your market could be smaller because you're a local business. Okay. So that's where your creative strategy needs to align. It's not the best path is saying, well, I get a win here. How do I complement this with other assets? So instead of just asking this thing to grow, I get an ad that's a little bit better over here, and I get an ad that's a little bit better over here. And as this circle grows, and as this circle grows, and this circle gets bigger, they're going to overlap. The Venn diagram of your circles is going to grow to be just one big blob. In the middle of that blob is your low-hanging fruit. The closer to the center that blob is, the more likely that person is to buy, and also the less incremental your marketing results. Now, the reason that matters is because your cost caps, they're focused on the dead center. They're not trying to go out into these other spots. Cost caps are built around predictive bidding. I'm not going to be able to land a conversion from a customer that's over here if my ad is good here, because I don't know how they're going to behave. So I'm not going to be able to predict their future actions. So I'm not going to be able to set a cost cap where I'm trying to predict human behavior in order to spend the money. I'm just never going to leave my center. Now you're going to get some cheap sales, but you're never going to make the pool bigger. You're only going to get better at getting the people who are already there. You can get rid of a little bit of waste. That's fine. You can get a little bit more efficient. I'm all for it. I'm not saying cost caps are bad, but understand you're going to get more efficient. If you optimize for efficiency, you can't get bigger. You only get better with what you have. And that's incredibly, incredibly important. Now, let's get to the second point of this. Now, usually I've got slides, and I know I'm like a week late on getting to the questions on YouTube, and we're going to, I got it in the back of my head. We're going to dedicate some time to it. Don't you worry. Now, what about for you folks that are like, well, I'm just going to launch 100 ads a week? Let's talk about that. So on week one, let's say it's 10 ads a week, which is still way too many. You launch 10 ads, 3 of them get sales, 1's pretty good, and that's this guy. Now, remember we said that ad journeys from the center and gets some wins, and then goes in those different directions and ultimately kind of understands where it's good and bad. And then based on that, it kind of links back up with the center and starts to build this like lookalike audience based around that data set. That's assuming, of course, you didn't launch a new ad. Because what is that new ad going to do? It's going to take all of the sales from the center of the circle. So this ad that wins over here can't connect back to the original because you've cut it off because you have 100 ads launching, or 10 ads, or 5, whatever it is, launching on day one. They're stealing only low-hanging fruit. What that means is that ad that went over here and won It never gets to connect. That Venn diagram is no longer building a circle, just a bunch of dots. You do that 100 times, you got a bunch of dots all over the screen, but there's no overlap. It means that one ad isn't setting up another ad to be successful. There's no complementary nature to the data set. And what really, really hurts is the fact that you got to win. You paid for it to learn. And then when it comes back and says, all right, I'm ready to do a good job, you're like, great. By the way, you have to continue just existing on your own. As soon as you leave the nest, you never get support ever again because we've got more low-hanging fruit. We're going to try to replace you right away. Think of it like this. In that example of the Girl Scouts knocking on the doors, and one Girl Scout was lucky enough to sell 10 boxes because she knocked on a door and somebody bought 8. Awesome. Let's say she gets good at it, right? She's the most experienced person. And you send her off and she figures out how to do some things. And now you, as the person sending these Girl Scouts out of the way, are starting to realize, okay, these neighborhoods good, these neighborhoods bad. You then say, okay, I got some good neighborhoods. I got some people that are ready to buy. I'm going to launch 100 new Girl Scouts against that audience, that neighborhood. Oh, you were the great saleswoman of that previous. You're the little girl that crushes the most cookies. Okay, you go to the other side of town where nobody knows who you are and go just knock on some doors. You're already good. I know you can be successful. Just go out and do absolutely no support. Don't leverage any amount of information. We're not going to help you in any way. And then what happens the next week? That ad fails. Your new ad, you get another girl that was lucky enough to knock on a house with like 8 kids, and she sells 37 boxes in one go. You're like, oh, I got a new rock star because of random distribution. And then you fire the old one because that ad fatigued. It didn't fatigue. It never even got to the point of any stability. So how do you know if an ad is ever stable? Well, that's what the 4PI analysis helps us do. Does it roughly spend the same percentage of spend every day? Is the CPM more or less stable? Is the frequency more or less stable? Well, let me help you out. The more ads you launch, the less capable that ad is of ever reaching some sort of stability. So then what do we do? Oh, well, look, I get it. You can't do that. So we're launching them all in cost caps, but that means you're only going to go after the center of the circle and see who gets lucky, but they're still hitting the same neighborhood. They're not even going to new neighborhoods anymore. Okay. So they say, oh, well, what we're going to do is ABO. We're going to force everything to get spent. Okay. So now you have isolated winners all over the place, but they can't talk to each other. Right? They're not in one ad set. They're often in many campaigns. Let's say you have a testing campaign and a scaling campaign. That means it only works. She's only a good, Girl Scout cookie saleswoman if she knocks on 10 doors a day. Now you knock on 1,000 a day as a business. She's great at 10. She's great at 12. Maybe she's great at 20. And you're like, okay, great. Now go knock on 1,000. And then you expect her to be any good. That's ridiculous. But that's exactly what happens when you run a testing campaign and say, wow, at 10% of my budget, this thing crushes. I'm going to go bring it into my scaling campaign. Oh, look, it fatigued. Ads never win for that long. So you got to just keep launching new ones. What you're doing by launching new ads over and over and over again is you're basically trying to say through random distribution, right? Yeah. Poor girl. That's every time you launch 100 ads. That's what happens. That random distribution of as many ads as possible, eventually you find a couple where there is a little bit of overlap. You find some pockets where ads are complementary, and those ads tend to kind of work together a little bit, and they last a little bit longer. And then if some ads get through the crucible and don't have things conflicting with it, maybe you got this ad that's over here and all the other ads seem to be in this quadrant and this guy over here and this one over here. And so this thing's just kind of left on its own because you're trying new concepts to reach new audiences. And like this thing's a winner. Because also when you just make versions of the same ad, they basically go to the same neighborhood. They're all this quadrant ad. And I made a bunch of ads that look like it. Now I got 1,000 people trying to get lucky here. Is that going to get me anybody from here? No. And about over here? Nope. What about over there? Not going to happen at all. The point is this. Your meta ad strategy of trying to launch 1,000 ads, of trying to outpace ad fatigue, is what is causing ad fatigue. If you let your ads have their natural life cycle, they wouldn't fatigue. Now, ad fatigue, as it's defined by the media buyer culture, is basically an ad did good and now it doesn't anymore. Now, I just told you why that happens. It happens for 3 reasons. Remember, number 1, it got lucky early based on random distribution, and then it failed while learning how to do well, and you just turned it off before it ever had a chance to be good at its job. It said, okay, I went in 4 different directions. I crushed in 1. I lost in 3. I'm going to only go in that direction. Like, oh, thanks for the information. By the way, you're fired. Like, but I now know how to do my job. I can win for you. No. I know that you can win for me right now, but I'm not interested. I just want to keep getting lucky and burning a whole lot of money to just try to hit the same people over and over and over again. The other reason ad fatigue happens is because you're asking, the supply and demand curve is off. You're demanding too much work out of that ad when it doesn't have the supply. Often this happens because you're like, wow, this ad is crushing. I'm just going to turn off all the other ads and let this thing try to reach everybody. And what happens? It fails. And I often use the analogy of something like, if Michael Jordan's the greatest basketball player in the world, put him up against an entire other basketball team for an entire 48 minutes, he's going to lose every game. Messi might be the greatest footballer ever, but if he's the only one on the pitch, he ain't winning a game. It's a team effort. Your ads work together, or you're going to struggle. Your ads work on multiple platforms, Facebook, Google, TikTok, Pinterest, whatever, or you're going to struggle. Your ads look like your website. So when somebody says, wow, that's really interesting, they click on your ad, what they see is exactly what they were expecting, or you're going to struggle. The number 1 ad I have for Disruptor Academy is literally me taking my phone out, and just taking a picture of my screen and saying, these are all the things you're going to get. And it's targeting the broad retargeting audience of people who know who I am. So they're like, holy shit, that's amazing. I was thinking about getting this, or this, but I can get all of it for like what's cheaper and ask for help. Done. $97 a month for $5,000 of value, and I can get help every week. Give me the link. Plus, of course, all the freebies and the templates and the creatives and all of that fun stuff. And all of the lovely people that you get to talk to. So when you begin to isolate that ad might be able to do 30 sales, and you're trying to get 50 sales, but you turn off the ads that can get 10 and 5 and 8 that ultimately are the reason that ad that can get 30 can do so well, because it doesn't have to do the whole job. But then you fire every other employee in the company because you have one good employee and ask them to do every job in the business, and your business isn't doing good. It's operator error. It's business mismanagement. It is an egregious misunderstanding of how the platform works, and that's what I'm here to help you understand today. Now, the last reason of ad fatigue is that sometimes ads just aren't good at their job anymore. And what that really means isn't that ad isn't good anymore. It's that the demand of that job has changed. If that ad was great at getting you 30 sales a day when it was a prospecting ad, awesome. But over time, you've built up your control ad set with 4, 5, 6 different ads that are all very complementary, and you've been beginning to do some A/B testing with your 3-2-2 ads and your other 2 ad sets in that campaign. You've replaced your weakest link. You've scaled it up, so you're not asking that campaign to get 50 sales. Now it's 75 or 100. And that ad's a great prospecting ad, but you have other ads that are good prospecting as well, that also are better links to your retargeting ads. Ultimately, that ad didn't evolve at the same pace as the rest of the business, and that's okay. Fun fact, if you were to recreate that ad, odds are, and by recreate, I don't mean duplicate, I mean just like take that creative, that copy, that headline, just launch it again. Odds are it would launch at the new baseline. It would become as good as it was when you started in relation to the other ads, but now the entire everything is better. I do see this all the time. Anybody worth their salt is 100% just rebuilt an old ad and seen it crush. Happens all the time. I've easily spent ungodly amounts of money doing that. We're talking $50, $100 million just turning on old shit. Easy. So that's often where the fatigue comes from. Or you're using tools like cost caps, which again, only focus on the core of the audience, then as soon as you hollow out the audience, instead of being a nice juicy circle, it looks more like a donut. Well, there's that ad fatigues because there's literally nobody for it to sell to anymore. The demand and supply situation is off because there's no supply anymore. And it's far less incremental because you're just hitting the people in the middle of the screen that probably would have converted on email or just organically, whatever. Anyway, that's why ad fatigue happens. That's why I say ad fatigue is operator error. I need to take a quick sip for a second, but hey, shout out for everybody. We're up 2 more subscribers here. Oh, Disruptor Academy on YouTube. I'm going to drop the link here again to my birthday party, online birthday party thing, right? I'm going to do this in the morning, and then I'm going to go out and enjoy brunch with my daughter and get some coffee and maybe a cigar with some friends and then go bowling because, you know, life is for the living. Anyway, I'm going to put this out in the YouTube on our community tab, and I've been tweeting this out. And if you're on any of our broadcast channels on Instagram or Facebook, I'll send it out to you there too. I think I'm emailing this thing out. Just come on in. 25 people so far are in here. I haven't really promoted it, so we're going to do it here. And again, we're going to be doing giveaways on this premiere for this video, the complete Facebook ad course. People say, all you do is sell the course. I'm going to give away better information than all you do is sell the course. Like small dick energy vibe bros don't even understand and can't compete with and would like gatekeep from you. We're just going to give it all away. You think I'm trying to scam people? Fuck it. I'm going to give them better results than you can do for free. Let's undermine everybody by helping all of you be successful. And really all we're talking about is undermining the really insecure folks that just don't know how things work. The cost cap agency bros, the very loud minority of just insecure, shitty dudes, you know? So just going to leave this up here real quick. Let's get to, you know what? I'm going to, while we're here, just because I would like to get some more folks in case you want to find it. You might be watching on YouTube and maybe this is bad because you'll leave and come back. Oh, look, we got 2 more subs. That's what I'm talking about. Love it. Thank you, people, so much. All right. On Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we're going to be doing giveaways, $50, $100, $150, $200 giveaways, plus a free year to Disruptor Academy and a big announcement on some other big things. Anyway, the last thing I want to get to here, and then we're going to just plow through the comment section because I've left it unattended. The link to that YouTube channel, by the way, is just at Disruptor Academy. Disruptor Academy on YouTube. All right, here we go. Boom, boom. Dropping it in the chat. All right, there we go. Bam. The last thing that I want to talk about here, when we're getting to this whole idea of how creative works and the life cycle of an ad and how Facebook works, is that this is why you only ever need broad targeting. Because you don't want to restrict where those ads can go. Your best ad, the one that's in the upper left-hand quadrant, that upper left-hand quadrant might only be 10 people inside of your lookalike or whatever. Like your interest group might not be reflected there. It's about where your ad can be successful and learn how to find other people. Your ads make your audience. And so many people think the audience makes the ad successful. The ad is what makes a successful audience. Your business model is what makes a good business effort. Your ads only amplify your business model. People are putting the cart before the horse primarily because that's what they can sell. If people told you the number one way to get better results for your Facebook ads was to not touch your ad account and make your business better, you wouldn't hire them to magically hit all the buttons for you and then fire them 3 months later. You wouldn't be on your 7th ad agency in the last 3 years. You wouldn't need them. You would know that none of them care about you. Because they're not talking to you about this stuff. They're talking to you about how they can cheat the system and bring you what X, Y, like, hold on a second. We got 5 more people. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate that. So that's why we really rely on broad targeting. Because also, we're using advanced matching, which is Facebook's way of saying, well, these are all the people that added to cart on all of our competitors. Maybe they're going to want something from us. and why we can get away with broad retargeting, where we're hitting up all of the stuff we've talked about for the last few weeks about how I'm scaling Disruptor Academy. And then go back to the live videos. We've got 3 hours of like step-by-step guides of me sharing my screen, showing exactly what I've done to get to nearly $12,000 in the first 30 days on something that cost me less than $3,000. And that's just from school, not including the other 20,000 from people joining Inner Circle in the Facebook Ads MBA program. Like, I'm up 15x on my investment. I've shown you every step of the way. You can also use broad retargeting there because you're just prospecting within an audience of people who are already aware of you. Basically, broad retargeting is the same thing as only hitting up people in your neighborhood. You're not asking that Girl Scout to find anybody interested in Girl Scouts, even if they're 17 miles away or 5 states away or on the other side of the planet. They're just like, look, can you go find somebody in your neighborhood? Let's just do that. To be fair, if you have 100 boxes of candy you can sell in your neighborhood and you only need to sell 10, why are you going anywhere else? It doesn't make any sense. But again, we try to use logic and reason and accountability here, which is why most people that are in the business have a real problem with the way that I talk about things. Anyway, let's get to it. Please make a video on the funnel and retargeting. I got you. This has been one of my biggest requests. It is on the list on the wall over here. I got a list of courses I'm going to be making. And that one is 100% on the list. It's probably going to be about 90 minutes to 2 hours long, explaining the entire thing. So I'm very excited about that. Hey, my man, my CPM, my regular broad approach campaigns is so high these last days. Old campaigns are still stable. Are the agencies putting a lot of money into Facebook in this time of this year? Just want to disregard that hypothesis. So we are seeing some rising costs. It happens every year. Remember that Q1 is the cheapest time of the year. January is the lowest CPMs of the year. Then they go up around early Feb. We get a little bit of a drop, and then they go back up again. Yes, they're rising right now, but they're generally less than they were in January. They're generally less, or sorry, they're generally more than they were in January, but they're generally less than they were in Q4. We have to remember that there's a life cycle to all of this stuff. By the way, I'll tease it now. If you watch the video on Sunday with us, there's a big giveaway at the end of the video, and part of it is the calendar. Look, we got another one. Part of it is the calendar to let you know exactly what's happening every month of the year. BMO, okay. BMO Journal from the chat and the comments. It's so annoying to be the carousels, can't be engagement ads. I get why. I hear you. Can we run them as traffic campaigns? You could, but like, here's the thing. My honest opinion is I just don't use a lot of carousels. I think they can be good ads, but I think functionally they might be as good as other options, but the other options are easier to manage. And the honest truth is the only reason I really ever use carousels is trying to mock a DPA ad or in a rebuttal upsell where I want somebody to pick between like 2 or 3 up bundles. And I'll just use that as a retargeting audience to begin with my rebuttal upsell, right? Okay. Your shorts have 0 audience. So bizarre for me. It is bizarre. And I got a lot of comments on people saying my shorts had 0 audio and a lot more views. It's not a trick I'm going to continue to use all the time, but every now and again, it's a fun little hack. BMO, should I just drop my MoFu? Yes, 100%. Drop your MoFu traffic campaigns. Everything will get better. Except the volume of traffic that you get. But your conversion rate will get better. The unit economics of your ad account will get better because you're not spending money doing that. Maybe you put it into your engagement stuff or your broad retargeting stuff. Traffic campaigns are far lower quality attention than just getting engagements on your stuff and cost averaging for lower and lower cost follows. I noticed that I run my ads, CPMs are high, or my friends, the same creatives, the CPMs are low. Any explanations? Yeah, your user experience is probably bad. Bottom line, user experience. The ad is only one part of the user experience. I bet you their bounce rate is less than yours. I'll bet you that organic social gets way more engagement than yours does. There's a million reasons why the exact same creative can have very different performance on different accounts. Plus, they might have started that ad and gotten a few good impressions in the first few thousand, a few good users in the first few thousand impressions, and Facebook just thinks that ad is better. Why is Ben Affleck making vids? Hold on, Darren. We are, thank you. Is that a bar fridge stack? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's exactly what it is. What's the strategy when starting a new channel? I want my new channel to be just courses. I want my new channel to be just hour and a half, 2 hour long things. And it's going to be only that. So you can go to that channel and just binge it and teach yourself how to do this thing. Whereas this channel is more of a communication and a community and like pot shots where we're doing the 5-minute videos every Tuesday, the Facebook ads in 5, and we're doing these lives. That one is more of a front end to Disruptor Academy where we're diving in super deep. And if you want more of that community, you can subscribe here. You can join Disruptor Academy and get a lot more support. This is very informative. Well, I'm glad. It's interesting. I'm glad. These 5-minute Fridays, by the way, are now Facebook ads in 5 because I do these lives on Fridays and putting 2 videos out on the same day. Apparently, YouTube frowns upon that. Okay. If that's true, then I would be amazing. By the way, my birthday? Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Well, birthday bro from Pakistan. Good to see you. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Boom. Let's just drop that in there. I love that Google, by the way, sometimes just gives you these automated replies. And so if you see them from me, sometimes know that I appreciate it, but I don't have the heart to just type individual things. But as you see, Rachel, thank you. And then boom, you are welcome. Awesome. There's no sound, brother. Yep. See, I was talking about, I got comments on there's no sound when people are just watching videos otherwise. Excellent video. Really appreciate your insights. I run an e-commerce store and plan on launching an engagement campaign using post IDs. Don't use your post IDs for engagement campaign. Don't run engagement on your e-commerce ads. Don't do it. Run it to your organic stuff. Broad remarketing. I would just do the broad remarketing with your post IDs. You can also use a catalog ad there if you want to. I think all of this is good, but this is all going to exist inside of one single campaign. Maybe your catalogs and your control ads, and you run a couple DCTs and some stuff next to each other, all broad remarketing. The people that engage with your organic content. Do not run engagement campaigns on your post IDs. So many people misunderstand that. They hear those. They read the headline and ignore the article, right? Charlie T, have a roofing business. Oh, bonjour, shows it. Trying to report scheduled leads back to Facebook as a conversion of my lead form page so I can get less junk leads. Is this possible? 100%. Go to Zapier, type in offline conversion events, and then type in the platform where you're storing your leads. Maybe it's in Typeform or in some CRM platform, or maybe you can port them into an Excel spreadsheet or Google Sheet and then feed that back to Facebook. 100% easy to do. The AI will help you get that done. Okay. Bro, you all right? I'm good, dude. So what is a better way to do it rather than one broad campaign with a conversion objective? I'm not saying, is this a better way to do it? I'm not saying that you shouldn't do the one broad campaign. I'm just saying you might not have to. DSA, I hit you back with the DSA. Oh, shoot, hold on a second. DSA, boom. So you got to get them short keys. Reply, DSA, boom, boom. Love it. Okay. Is it true? Yes. What a boss. Amazing content. My pleasure. There we go, Ali. See, Ali, I appreciate your comments, buddy. Just sometimes when I write it back, it's AI that's writing back the reply. But I do mean it. Okay. Rate reviewing data in my ad account blew my mind with all the BS I've been taught over the years. Not a single person reviewed an ad account in this way. This is how I knew Charlie was the real deal. Thank you, man. There we go. Like and heart. I love it. Great video. Do you have any advice for an entry-level guy? I've finished lots of courses, working meta ads on my own budget for some time now, looking to transition to customer support gig, to a marketing gig, media buyer is something I'd like, is my closest. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. All right, Matthew, here's my 3 pieces of advice. Number 1, throw away all the other courses you've done. Just listen to what we do here. Number 2, apply to every job you can get, including contract work. Be a temp. Get anything you can. Under promise, over deliver. I started at $10 an hour. When I got 5 clients, I started charging 15. And then every new client, I went 15, I went 20. When I got to 20, I was at like 7 clients. I went back to the first clients where I was paying 10. So I'm all, hey, I'm making like $20 now. I'm on my new clients. So I'm going to raise my price to 15. If any of them tell you to piss off, Great. You're just making more money for your time. Elevate your way up. Now I'm $1,000 an hour. That's my best piece of advice. Great stuff, Professor. Loved it. Well, I'm glad you liked it. Glad to hear it. All right. Ollie, see, I'm genuinely like responding, and then they got the words that I want to use. Waiting for this. I hope you like it. Look at that, right? DSA. Oh, here we go. Hold on a second. Boom, boom, boom. Bam. Reply. Do you exclude any audience in broad remarketing and in broad tofu campaign? We don't use tofu. I mean, you might be a vegan, but we don't use 2017 Google tactics in Facebook in 2025. And no, I generally don't exclude anybody. There's no reason. People are like, well, I don't want to spend money on people who've already bought. Really? You don't want anybody to buy twice? Or I'm sick and tired of wasting money showing the ads people already bought. How many people bought? Was it 1,000 people? If you had 1,000 people buy from you and your CPM is like $20, that means your budget of $500 a day, you're losing $20. Maybe if you get 100% of those people every single day, do you really think that that's a problem? What if one of them buys? Exclusions are stupid. 99% of the, maybe not 99, 85% of the time, if you're thinking about exclusions, you're trying to solve the wrong problem the wrong way. In your recent short, you advertise winning engagement campaigns, lower CAC, with kind of optimization event, through plays, post engagements, and hold up, Mohammed. That's course number 3. Step by step. The entire thing is how to run these campaigns that I've been talking about over on Disruptor Academy. Subscribe, like the videos, show up to our premiere parties where we're giving away hundreds. We'll probably up at the stakes every time. So eventually we're giving away thousands, plus an entire year at Disruptor Academy. So yeah, we're giving away a lot. Why not have fun? And if it works well, we're going to do it all the time. Okay. There's a great vid, Donnie. Okay. There's a great vid and does a lot of explaining the approach, transition about expected. Perspective. Looking forward to see your thoughts on lookalikes versus just broad. By the way, Donnie is the guy that kind of showed me the light on these engagement stuff. Super good dude. And if you go to disruptorschool.com, you can buy Donnie's masterclass on how to do all this stuff and not have to wait for the free course. And you get it straight from the horse's mouth, plus a lot of other really interesting bits of data and worksheets that you only get in the Inner Circle and the MBA program. All right, cool. But why not post it here? You're already posting about Facebook ads. Well, hopefully we got to a bit of an answer to that question. Do you run flexible ads? And if so, can you link me to your best video about them? Yes, I do. And I would go to the Facebook ads in 5 playlist and look for the most popular one. The most popular one is how to do 322 ads. 322 ads, DCTs, flexible ads, they're all the same thing. Okay. What is going on? What is happening? Somebody's at my door. Uh-oh. Hold on a sec. My nanny was at the front door. Boop. Oh, there's Charlie walking around. I got a little girl. Okay. Anyway, I love my daughter. Whatever. Okay. In your video, you mentioned not to touch ads or offer, and the business is working. Say you're hitting your target CPA, and everything all of a sudden stops working. What do you do to test different things in your ads and landing page, improve CPR? Yeah. Joshua, I know we addressed this a little bit before, so I won't go too deep here, but the honest truth is, if everything is working and then all of a sudden it shifts, it's usually more of a market issue than a business issue. And the number one way to make sure that that's not a problem is to improve AOV, or second purchase rate, make your business better. And then the rising CPAs are just going to be something you're completely okay with, and you don't have problems. Great video as always. What do you say the fastest way to get from 10K a day to 50K a day as well, when you focus on how to get there? Yeah, this is probably my fastest way to get here. This Facebook ads made easy. We're going to be doing this is the second video. So after the video that launches on Sunday, if you subscribe to that video, it can be a part of the giveaway on the second video. Where we're going to be doing more hundreds and giveaways, thousands and giveaways. And I'm going to be walking through that step by step by step. And we're talking more and more about how to scale things. But yeah, if you want to get from 10K a day to 50K a day, you need to have a business operation that is successful. Matt, I always thought you're British. Bonjour? I don't know. Okay, DSA. Wait, here we go. Boom. All right, there we go. Reply. Love it. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I know. Little Charlie's out with the nanny today. So he's probably not going to make too many more appearances on these lives. All right, a few questions. That is Kings. Does this mean there's a minimum spend on an ad? No. So I spend $10 per day, £10 per day on my ads and struggle to scale, spend and maintain return. However, I spend £100 a day, I would have 10x the data to be more effective. Yes. How long would you let an ad run before you decide to be turned off? If there's 3 days to nothing, but how long do you wait? I don't. That's not how we evaluate data. You should be spending money that you've already made in your business because you don't need ads to make a sale. You invest money that you can lose in building up the data set of your ads so that ultimately you lose less and less and less for every dollar you spend until you start making more and more and more with the dollar you spend. That supply and demand curve that we talked about, and then you just scale with it. Moving an ad for some reason, we can reuse the post ID to take advantage of its intelligence. What happens if you need to move a catalog ad? Don't move a catalog ad. That's the data doesn't work the same way. Thank you so much, Charlie. Can't wait to see the proven results. No paywalls. There you go. Do you think we can make a video about Facebook ad creative and show good examples of good creatives that work? Something like $100 ad and $100,000 ad. Let me tell you this. There's no difference. The best I've spent $100,000 to get an ad made by paying a Kardashian and barely broke even. I had the receptionist at my company take a picture, do a Snapchat in the kitchen, and we printed millions. There is no thing as a good ad and a bad ad. Some ads are bad, but like ultimately, that's not how it works. And anybody that tells you what you need is really good ads is missing the point entirely. Hey, Charlie, set up one campaign. Man, we're not going to get time to get through all this stuff. Okay. I set up one campaign a couple months ago, and that has been a tremendous success with it. So firstly, thank you for that. You're welcome. Secondly, I want to ask if you found a way of working around the dynamic breakdown bugs. It's always happening since Facebook announced that dynamic creative was going away. Yeah, we don't worry about it at all. Because of the bugs, I'm unable to view the video, image, and slideshow breakdown, and therefore have not been able to review ad performance, move the best one up to the winner's ad set. You've never been able to see the winner. If you look at the video of a 322 ad, you're looking at 4 ads. If you're looking at the primary text of a 322 ad, it's 6 ads. You've never seen the winner. You've seen the collection of the results from one asset, but that's often multiple ads. Go to your comment section when you're just getting through customer support. Document each one of those things. And if any of them starts to take off, and that DCT or Flex ad is doing phenomenally, odds are whatever post that is from that's getting all the engagements is the one that is most heavily contributing to the success that you get. When something begins to work, Facebook focuses on spending on that thing. When they're all very similar, generally distribution is pretty hyperbolic. You can't get down to the post ID, so don't worry about it. That's just not the way it really works. I hope that helps, Daniel. All right, one last question. Mind-blowing content. You're welcome. All right, do you work independently? Yes. Okay. And it works. Fantastic. Love it. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. Boom. Waiting for that. Love it. Okay. We're done. All right, everybody. Hey, good to see you. All right, Miss Little Charlie. Yeah, Dime. I miss her too, so I'm going to go and say hi. Thank you so much, Alan. I know there's more questions here. I wish I got to drop into them all, but come back on Sunday. Where's the link to it? It's right there. All right, come back on Sunday. Be a part of the live. Show up. We're going to do a big drop. If you're in the academy, I'm going to drop the link to the birthday party. Remember, we're giving away hundreds. We're giving away hundreds. And we're going to be doing giveaways of memberships and answering your questions and just having a good time. It's going to be fun. We're going to enjoy ourselves. And then we're going to do it again 10 days later with the next one. I'm finishing up the one that's going to come after that. My focus is to help change lives, create jobs and happiness and confidence. That's what this is all about. All right, now on the screen, that's Disruptor Academy. Find us on YouTube. You'll also see a couple QR codes. Scan that to join Disruptor Academy. our community over on school. And from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say that thank you guys so much. This year has been incredible. And I just really appreciate all of you. It really means a lot. And I can't wait to see you on Sunday. So with that being said, thank you so much, Time. Best of luck out there, and I'll see you soon. Bye.